This year we felt that from a new concept, food heritage, would open up the festival to a broader group of people. You can see a real broad range of farmers, farmers' wives, growers. And this year with the potato, it was just perfect really for Skibbereen. We're the centre of where the famine devastated our town and our area. From a modern point of view, you see that the potato is disappearing off so many tables. You know, that's from a family point of view. And then from a restaurant point of view, it's just the dynamic of having where the potato is now in the restaurants, you know, whereas through the years you might have seen it just as the humble spud. Now you see it from, you know, potato and chocolate cake. We tend to brainstorm. So we have a really dynamic group in our committee. So we have teachers, we have chefs, restaurant owners, farmers, every sort of person on the committee. So we come in and we sit at a meeting and we go, okay, we've this idea on the table, what do you think? And we all start brainstorming, and that's actually how it works.
We here in Waterford, with the Harvest Festival, have decided that food heritage would be one of the key pieces that we would look at within the festival, because I think sometimes history and heritage can be seen as being dull and boring and dead. So I think it's very important that you animate them and actually give them a bit of life and give them fun and think about what you're actually known for, or what food heritage you do have. Also to look at what resources are within your area. We had the likes of Fado, which are a very good heritage reenactment group. But don't try and overcomplicate it. You know, look at what resources and what you can do around you, and to use those assets that are there within your city or your town or your county or whatever's around you. People want to be entertained, they want to experience things, so they have to be able to come and touch and talk and feel. So I think it's always important that all those elements are incorporated into any of the activities you do. In one way, you have to be careful how much you've got on your plate. I think not to take on something like this, and it's much easier if you have got the ability to give it over to a project manager, because again, if you've got a 3-day or 4-day festival and you're trying to program, organise volunteers, production the event, it becomes very time consuming if you've got to do every little bit of the element on the programme. So I think it's hugely important that you realise that, yeah, for the sake of the few pound or the bit of money, that you give over the responsibility to somebody else, and it's their job to make it happen and deliver it.
It really is an amazing festival, and it's been so linked into the heritage of Galway. It started in 1954 as a way to extend the tourist season, but it's just turned into so much more than that. And this year we've linked in a lot more with the heritage side of it, and Galway's connection with the sea has been right down through the ages. You were in the marquee earlier, you probably saw the different restaurants that were there. That's a new initiative that we brought in, and we have such a wealth of different restaurants here in Galway. We had different storytelling events going on, and all of this together for anyone that comes to visit, it's just, that's what they want to connect in with, and that's what they enjoy. Well, what I'd suggest is step back and just have a look at what's special about your region, what's different about your area compared to somewhere else. What elements do visitors actually enjoy as opposed to you thinking what they enjoy? And I always find that that's most important, that you should take a sampling, and that's we spent last year all the way through the festival. We had sampling going on in the marquee, we had it online, and we also had it on the streets of Galway of people that would never go near the marquee because they're coming for this famous festival, and we needed to make sure that what they're receiving is what they expected to get and better, that they would come back again and recommend it to other people.
The festival has been running for 5 years as a typical contemporary food festival. The general approach, because of the recession, has been to go back to basics and pointing back generally to how things used to be. Seems to have grabbed the zeitgeist of the moment, for want of a better word. There was such a wealth of local knowledge and interest. You saw the local poets and the local storytellers here. Food and the weather are the two local most talked about subjects. And the history of food, it is a visceral part of the community. So it was easy to go back to, for instance, as we say, the Bahán Tíocht, the local gathering house, and what was served in that house. So we very quickly brought in individual strands that were already available in the community. Everybody likes to think that they have something to contribute. It isn't an ego thing or anything, they simply like to help. And I do think that one of the good byproducts of this recession is the willingness of people to perhaps give more time than they did in their busy, successful life before.